heading? I mean, what is the future of this kind of journalism in a country where, well, it leads so far to the result of only persecution? How come people are so courageous to do this?
Because they have nothing to lose, I guess. You can get a point where you just don't want to live on, if it has to be like that.
There are two kinds of media in Burma that you can see. One is what we have seen here today, the underground media, which is very, very dangerous, of course. And start in mind that was in the last 2 weeks that a number of student leaders who were very active in these demonstrations have been sentenced to 65 years in jail. So it's very clear the risks that people take are huge. But there's also another kind of media. There's the local media, there are magazines. Of course, there's a high level of censorship. It's very difficult for them, but they can write about social issues, like HIV/AIDS, like the environment, trying to educate people, trying to write between the lines, and there's a lot of that going on. It's very vibrant, actually.
Definitely, there is a lot of discontent within the military, and there's evidence for that. For example, if you look at the result of the 1990 elections, which resulted in a landslide victory for Aung San Suu Kyi's party, even in quarters of Rangoon, where a lot of military are living, her party won. The problem is who dares to be the first one, because the person who's currently the most powerful person, so it seems, within the military regime, comes from the Department of Psychological Warfare. So he is an expert in divide and rule. One of the things he does, for example, is he constantly moves around the regional commanders who actually could have a potential for becoming rivals, but as soon as they get too powerful, they're kicked upstairs or moved from their region. Anyone who's a potential rival is being maneuvered into a less powerful position. The violence against the monks was very difficult for the military to take. They are, after all, devout Buddhists. But it never seems to come to a level where it really turns into a meaningful political different dynamic. It's also by default of the opposition parties that the military manages to remain in power. It's very difficult, because they are so divided amongst themselves as well, to come to a better strategy. And for a long time, it's been difficult for dissidents to accept the idea that it might be necessary to negotiate with the military and somehow give them a political role as a transition period.
Okay. They consider themselves as media warriors. They know that they are interested in journalistic values. They are into integrity, they are into all this. But it seems like when you get to a situation like this, it somehow gets less priority.
I'm a very strong supporter of, a clear division between activism and journalism. But I often had discussions with my Burmese friends who are journalists and who also have a point when they say, that's such an easy thing to say when you're from a democratic country and you're not threatened or imprisoned, or you don't have to defend your freedom and your right to report in the way we do.
I think it's fair to compare with World War II, the occupied countries in Europe and the illegal press there. They were all pushing an agenda, obviously. Are we looking at them today as ambiguous characters people should doubt for what they did? I'm not sure. Put yourself in the place of this group at the moment, with the context they have and the possibilities at hand. There's no way I can blame them for pursuing that strategy.
It's so difficult to say something in general about what people in Burma expect the outside world to do. And I think that's also a message that Aung San Suu Kyi has been trying to spread to the people, even though she's very isolated now for years. But she would always make a point of saying, you don't count on others and don't count on the outside world. If you want democracy in Burma, you will have to do something about it.
It's an inspiration. It's not just about solving the Burmese problem. Supporting free media is supporting free media in the world as such, all over the place, like Belarus or wherever. This is a case. It's a showcase for what you can do. And so you shouldn't think narrowly in the cost-benefit analysis of whether Burma will change or not. Should we support free media in Burma because will it ever change? You should support free media to support free media.
I often ask people, why are you taking all the risks? I'm here, I can't change your life. There's not much I can do for you. I can write down your story. Why are you risking? God knows how many years behind bars for telling me the story. And then people always say, or often say, as long as someone is reporting on our life, we still exist. I think it's a very existential desire to have your story told. And Burmese journalists are very aware, the ones outside as well as the ones inside, that is a desire that they want to fulfill.